welcome back. If this is your first time, thank you for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe and like this video and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. For those of you who are regulars here, welcome back. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick tutorial with the stuff that I got from Wendy and Rachel and some of the stuff from Sam's Bead Shop. We are going to be making these two really cute earrings. Very simple, but very cute. So we're going to start with this one, and I'm going to go over the tools that you're going to need. You are going to need some bed nose pliers or tweezer pliers or flat nose or needle nose, whichever pliers that you usually use for your jewelry making. And you're going to need some flush cutters and some round nose pliers. Okay, that is basically it of the tools that you are going to need. For this earring, you will need, obviously you can use whatever beads, but I am using, these are the hand painted beads from Wendy over on A Bead on a Wire. So you can find her link and information and everything in the description box below. I will add that in case you want to get it. 2 little cube glass beads, 1 cracked glass bead, small. This is about 4 millimeter. These are about 3. And I have one of these bee coins from Sam's Bead Shop. Obviously you're going to need some earring wires, and that's going to be basically what you'll need for this first earring. So let's just go ahead and get started and create our components. So we're going to make the other half to this one. Okay, so and some head pins. Head pins are going to be necessary. You may need, if you don't have head pins long enough to do a wire wrap, you're going to need some 20 gauge wire just to do this part of the earring. Okay, so we're going to start making our components, and we're going to start with the bee. So you want to just put your head pin on. I like using my bed nose pliers for these. It just makes it easier. And what you want to do is you want to take it and you want to do a 90-degree angle right at the top. I don't really leave much room, so about there. And my loops are usually pretty small, so I don't cut but about a finger size, about here. You'll get to know what size you cut them depending on the size of loops that you like to make. Save this scrap because we will use this. So I'll put that there. Grab my round nose pliers. And let's see, let me enlarge this a little bit so you can see it a little better. Okay, and I'm just going to roll this back if I can get it on it. Okay, so we're just going to roll that back into a loop. Let me try to stay in camera, that would help. All right. So now that one's a little loose. If you want to fix that, which I do, what you can do is you can take your wire cutters and use the flush side to the side that's staying on the bead. Okay, and then just cut a little bit off the end of that part. You can see it there. And then just grab your pliers again and just keep tightening it up and closing that loop off. Okay, so, all right. And I'm sorry for the kind of gross noises that you're hearing in the background. That's my cat. And this is her dinner time. So, okay. So we got that component made. Now that piece that you cut off, and I was using 2-inch, it might be 2.5, but I believe they're 2-inch head pins. So you want to take that piece and you're going to bend part of this back, okay, about that much. And it's a little too much, so I'm going to cut a little bit off, okay. And then you're going to take your round nose pliers and you're going to bend that back and make your loop. Okay, so we have, and I gotta try to stay on camera, I'm sorry y'all. Okay, so this is what you're gonna end up with. Just sort of like if you had a head pin, you're just making your own. I'm gonna bend it a little bit because I want it centered, and I'm gonna make sure it is nice and closed off. Okay, so you're gonna have this, and then you're gonna grab your little cracked glass bead, and you're going to put that in, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my bend nose pliers. I'm gonna create that 90-degree angle. This one, just try not to go too close to the bead because you don't want to crack it or anything like that. And these head pins are pretty thick, so they're not the easiest to bend, but for the most part, it should not be an issue. It's just what I'm using. So this is what you're gonna have. Okay, I'm gonna cut a bit off the end. And again, that part is preference depending on how large or how small you like your loops, okay? And we're going to bring that back and we're going to create our loop. So, and I want this one pretty tight, so I'm making sure that I have enough. I'm going to cut a little bit off the end here. And again, you want the flush side towards the part that's staying on the bead. And then we're going to go ahead and close it a little more. Okay. I like to give it a slight bend here just to straighten it out. So, you know what? It's still a lot looser than I like it to be for this one. So we're gonna go a little more. I'm gonna grab my other, I have several size ones, so I'm gonna grab these, and since this is slightly bigger, and we're going to close that loop. Let's see. You know, this only gives me trouble when I'm on camera. That's the only time, people. When I'm not on camera, I have no issues closing these and getting them close to where I want them. But because we are on camera, my stuff likes to show off. So, okay, we finally got it to the tightness that I like, okay? You want some movement, but you don't want any loose pieces, okay? So we have those made. Now we're gonna make the largest component, which is going to take both of the little cubes and the little hand painted beads. So we're going to put these aside. And for this, I'm going to use wire, just because I use more than most people. So I can't really even tell you how much I'm grabbing. It's probably going to be like, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches, probably. Just make sure when you cut it with the flush side towards the side that you are going to be using. And I'm going to cut off a little bit off this end so it's flush as well. Okay, so I have a fairly decent good size, good size wire. Always give yourself extra wire so that, covers you in case of messing up or anything like that, which I do often. Okay, so we're gonna start this off. I'm gonna go about 2 inches in, I would say, and then I'm gonna put a 90-degree curve in there, and I'm gonna come back with my well, okay. I am not gonna do this, apparently. Okay. So how, Lord, oh, okay. So these are a little different because, as you can see, they're straightening on one side and then round nose on the other. So it's kind of tricky to get them in there, but you're gonna get it like this, okay, in the size that you want, and then you're gonna bring it back. Okay, you're gonna twist this, and then you're gonna keep going around. So you want to make a loop, okay, so about there. And guys, this doesn't have to be perfect. So I hold it with my pliers, always at the bottom part, because that holds the most, and it's less chances of ruining the wire, really. Okay, and then I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers and I'm going to wrap it around. Usually I like about 2 or 3 loops, and that's pretty much about it. That's usually around the size that it'll give you anyway. But again, that is personal preference. Some people like more, some people like less. I think the 2 and 3 range is a good number, but again, it is all about personal preference. It is your creative freedom to do as many loops or as little loops as you want. So there is a little bit there. I'm going to cut that off. Okay, and I'm going to grab it back with this, and I'm going to make sure that that's branded in so it's not scratching anybody. Okay, I usually like to use my bent nose pliers for this just because they can get in places a little easier. And we're going to, okay, and you can always feel it with your fingers to make sure that it's not scratchy or poking out. So let's get, Lord, I'm telling you, everything wants to be difficult today. So, okay, so now I normally, you see there's a gap there. I really don't like that. So I usually grab it and I will pull it up with my bent nose so that it is right against the bend right there. Just because I think it looks a lot better, it looks cleaner. Okay, and then I just straighten out my flat nose, and I just kind of straighten this out, straighten the wire out, and you have your first loop. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of your cubes, thread that through, and you're gonna take your big bead and another cube. Okay, so that's what you have so far. Now we're gonna make another one of these. All right, so we are going to bend this at a 90 degree, like we usually do. Leave yourself a little bit of room just because you're getting ready to wrap, okay? So we're going to bring these here towards the end. See, this is kind of backwards for me, and that's the problem that I'm having right now. So, okay, we're going to go here and then go back this way. I'm left-handed, y'all. I do everything backwards. So bring it towards you, make that loop, okay? Now, you have the option at this point to either join it to this or then actually open this like a jump ring and put it on. I usually just go ahead and put it on just because I think it just simplifies my life, to be honest. So I'm gonna hold it here and I'm gonna open it a little bit so that it goes through, okay? And I'm going to thread this on, and there you have it right there. Okay, so you're gonna put it on the other side and you're still gonna grab it with those pliers in order to wrap it around, okay? And you want to try to keep your loop semi-consistent, but sometimes that is not possible. And you want to try to keep them as tight as you can. Get my bent nose and put these together. To probably have an extra loop on this side, which is fine because, and it does not need to be perfect. Handmade is just that, handmade. And it's supposed to look unique, not manufactured. So I don't worry too much about it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the excess off with the flush part towards the earring. Hold your piece of wire so it doesn't go flying, and make sure that you get this little piece in. So I'm gonna grab my bent nose and start squeezing that in. You just gotta be careful that you don't get too close to the bead, that you're cracking the bead as you're trying to do this, okay? So this is the good thing about the bent nose, is that you can turn them in different ways so that it's not doing that, okay? So now you have this part of the earring already done, okay? So next step, you want to take your bead and we're going to put it at the bottom, okay? So you're going to grab your pliers and you're going to open it up like you would a jump ring towards you, not spread out this way, okay? Get this part in, and then we're going to close it back up. And my cat is saying hi because this is what I like to refer to as her crackhead hour, where she loses her ever-loving mind and decides to run all over the house, knock shit over, and make a lot of noise, because this is usually when people are sleeping. So that's how she rolls. Okay, so now we have our first earring. So the only thing that you need to do now is just add on an ear wire. Now you can make your own, or you can use pre-bought ones like I am doing here. Okay, I use surgical steel grade ear wires that I get in bulk, because these are completely hypoallergenic, so I don't have to worry about them hurting anybody's ears. So I'm gonna open this part up, okay? And we're going to hook it to the top and close it up. Now the good thing about these earrings is that they are double-sided. So it doesn't really matter what side. There's a B on each side, So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about getting it right. And there you go. You have your first pair of earrings. Okay. So we're gonna move right along to the second pair. Okay. So this is the second one we're gonna do. I have these already pre-made little circles for earwire or hoops that were sent to me by Ritual MALLIS off of Malli Jewelry. And so we're gonna use one of these. And we're just gonna start stringing beads. Now, there is no rhyme or reason for this. It is just at random. I grab a bead and I put it on. I don't know how my camera keeps moving, and I'm sorry guys. I'm not trying to make you dizzy here. Okay, let me space out a little bit because this is being really weird. Okay, so I'm gonna spread a little bit and we're just gonna start grabbing beads and putting them on. Okay, for some reason it's not focusing. Okay, so whatever I grab is what I put on. I don't have a pattern. If you want a pattern, you're more than welcome to. I got these little beads from Wendy, and I'm pretty sure, well, she may have them in her store, she may not, but you can look. And again, I will link her and everybody that stuff I'm using in the description box below. But they're just little crystal rounds in different colors. So if you want a pattern, you are more than welcome to create one. I don't use it. It's whatever I pick up is what I use. And we're just gonna keep beating this until we get to the other side. You are gonna have to leave a little bit of space because you're gonna need to close it up. But other than that, creative freedom, people. That is the beauty of this. These are your creations. You can do whatever you want. And these are really cute and really simple to make. Yeah, so you're basically gonna keep doing this until you get to the other side, and then I will tell you when to stop. I think I used 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I used 13 on the other one, and we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we have 9, let's see, 10, 11, 12, and the final one, 13. Okay. So you should have about that much left, that much room left. Now, again, I like my hoops very small, my loops. So if you want it bigger, you can leave off a bead, and then you will have more room for your loop. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my bent nose and I'm going to bend this up a little bit, just enough to get it through that one loop. Okay. And I'm going to kind of squeeze and grab my round nose pliers, and we're going to close the loop, and you're going to go towards you to close it. Okay. And you can use your fingers to sort of spread it so you can do this easier. But this is pretty much all you have to do. Is just get it through and close it. Okay. So now you do want to leave a little room here because this is where you're going to hook the little flower, but you want to make sure that it is closed all the way, okay? So here we have our second little loop, okay? So now we're going to get our flower, and we're going to get that other part. I have this little extra piece of another head pin, okay? And again, bend it 90 degree. Cut off a little bit of the end so that it's flush. And make yourself a loop. Usually let's use these. So I'm going to make a loop. And there is the first loop. Make sure it's nice and closed. Okay. I'm gonna thread the flower through, and these flowers you can get at Sam's Bead Shop. Okay, that's where I got these, and they are awesome. Again, I will link everything in the description box below. So now we're going to take the upper part, we're going to make that 90-degree angle again, and we're going to make another loop. Okay. Just like with the other one, I want this a little tighter, so I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. And do it again. Okay. Okay. But I really wanted to be against that bead as much as possible, okay? So this is already partially open, so I'm going to go ahead and open it. And I'm going to thread it through that little hoop that we did at the top, right there, okay? So, and then I'm going to close it. Okay. Make sure that it's nice and closed. Now that we have that where we want it, I'm going to come over here and straighten this part out. Okay. Make sure it's nice and closed. And then we're going to grab our earring wire. Okay, just like the other one. I'm going to open it up. And we are going to feed this through, and then we're going to close it up. And again, these are double-sided, so you don't have to worry about one side or the other. And there you go. Now you have a cute pair of hoops. Perfect for spring, awesome little colors, and you got the little flower. And you can use different color wire. I used silver, but you can use gold or copper or anything else that you want. So here we go. You have two new cute pairs of earrings. If you enjoyed the video and you found it helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're notified anytime I post a new tutorial or a new video. I do have a new haul video that I just posted before earlier today. So make sure to check that out. That's where I got these beads from. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.